Hey everybody, Darren Cross here. Welcome to Module 1 of Business 400 Driving Business Opportunity. So the purpose of this video is to kind of talk about all of the things that you need to be paying attention to in Module 1. So what is Module 1 all about? Module 1 is setting the tone for the rest of the course. Module 1 is about innovation. If I could sum up what everything was about, it's about innovation and how it plays with blue ocean strategy. So you're going to dig in, you're going to talk about blue ocean strategy. Now, when you're thinking about business opportunity, everything doesn't have to be blue ocean strategy, but to the extent that you can be thinking in that way, it's probably a good idea. So let's talk about what blue ocean strategy really is. When we think about competition and being in business, we are usually talking about traditional or red ocean strategy. And that means that we are entering the bloody waters of competition where everybody else is. And when you think about one of the first questions that I ask somebody whenever they're engaging me to coach them or consult them on business, especially a new business idea, is why are you different? Because one of the things that people tend to do is they tend to think about the things that they've seen and they say, I want to do that. And what you're immediately doing is joining an ocean full of sharks, and everybody else is competing for a piece of whatever is in that ocean. Blue ocean strategy is different. Blue ocean strategy is really saying, why don't we think about a market that nobody else is thinking about? And when we enter into that market, people don't even know how to compete with us because we are changing the way everyone is even looking at the solution, the problem, whatever it might be. When you think about Apple, we take for granted what's going on with iPhones these days, right? So everyone has a smartphone. Very few people have flip phones, which is how it used to be. When I very first got a cell phone, I had that brick phone that was, the Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell phone that cost $900, right? And I thought that I was happy. I was going through life, and then we got the flip phones, and I can play Snake on it, and I could do some cool things. It had some cool ringtones and things like that. But Apple changed the game. We didn't know that we even wanted anything like that. Apple came along and said, what if we could do this? What if we could do this? What if we could do this? They weren't really in competition with anybody else. I wasn't thinking, man, I might go to Apple. I never even thought about Apple until the iPhone came out. They changed the way that everyone was thinking about their problems and potential solutions to the problem. So Blue Ocean is really saying, how do we render the competition irrelevant? How do we think about the problems that are out there in a different way, to the extent that we might even have to teach people that they need our product? Now, that's not a traditional thing that you want to do, right? You don't want to tell people you really need our product. You want people to feel like they need your product. But when you are thinking about things in that innovative way, when you are thinking differently, right? It causes you to put out things that actually can change the world and actually make a mark. And so really that's what this first module is about. And I want you to be thinking about that. I want you to think about what you're actually, when we get to the point to where you're going to be creating a product, you need to have this in your mind. So everything is about the blue ocean strategy and innovation. So I want you to get that in your mindset. So the other thing that I want to do here is I actually want to talk about the assignments that you're going to have. Now, the first one is pretty easy. It's a discussion board. I want you to engage with people. I want you to let me know all about your stuff. I want to know all about your professional identity, what it is that you're trying to do, maybe how this course can help you and that kind of thing. But then when we get to the other assignment, there are a couple of things that I want you to know. I'm just flipping my page here. The thing that I want you to know, first of all, is that when you very first start this assignment, I want you to have the correct mindset. It is about innovation. So if we look here, Some general instructions. You watched the general video already, so you kind of know what I'm wanting. The first thing I want to encourage you to do, see how this has all of these elements of the prompt. These are headings that are on the prompt. I want you to use those headings in your blog. Okay, I want you to use these headings in your blog. Why? Because it does a couple of things. First of all, it keeps you on track. As you're going, you're like, okay, value proposition, I know what I'm talking about here. Don't talk about anything that's not the heading or that is not prompted by something under that heading. Just talk about that because people get off track, okay? And then also, it lets me know that you are hitting the elements. If I don't see that, then I'm going through saying value proposition. And if I don't see the words value proposition, I don't know that you're even talking about it. In your mind, you feel like you're talking about it, but I don't see that interpretation of that, right? So use that so I know where to go to look for the thing that you're trying to hit for the assignment, okay? Don't worry about length or anything like that. Now, the other thing that I want to tell you about this first assignment, there is an issue that I have had with every session of this course that I've taught where you guys will you'll actually publish your blog, but it's not launched. You have to launch it, and there's some things that you got to do. In addition to this video, you will see another video that talks about I think I named it 1.2 blog launch video or something like that. Watch that video. It shows you how to actually launch your video once you've done this. So you're going to go and create your blog. You want to go here. You want to go here and follow the instructions to actually create your blog. I'm going to tell you, focus on the content here. Don't focus on making it super, super pretty. That's energy that you really don't need. Yes, it's cool to me that you took the time to do that, but I really want you to focus on this. I want you to focus on these elements. And so what I'm going to do now is go over all of these headings so you know exactly what we're looking for each one of these things. I'm giving you the answers to the test right now, okay? So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to use these as the headings on your paper, right? Now, the first thing that we're talking about is value proposition. You want to talk about that first intro to your blog. You want to talk about what your company's main business is and the value that they deliver. So to give you background, here's what's going to happen. You're actually going to create a product that you are going to introduce to a new market, and you're going to do that as the chief innovation officer of an existing company that's out there, okay? So you choose a company and you're going to choose a product that you're going to introduce. The reason why you're choosing a company is to give you the background play, the sandbox to actually give you some context that you will use to make decisions and that kind of thing, okay? So you're going to choose a company and then you're going to introduce a product. Now, here's the thing that I want you to know. I'm going to go over and read this exactly so that you can know what's going on. So in this blog post, you're taking the role of a recently promoted chief innovation officer of an established U.S.-based company of your choosing. So you're going to choose this company, and then you're going to use them as the backdrop for everything you're going to do. It's within your responsibilities to discover new ways to improve an existing product or service in North America, or to introduce a new product or service in a market, or introduce a new product or service. Let me slow down. To introduce a new product or service to the market that will give the company a market edge over competition and fit within the company's core competencies. Here are the important words for this assignment. For the purposes of this blog post and for this entire course, you will do the latter. What are we saying? You're not going to improve anything. You are going to introduce a new product or service to the market that will give the company an edge over the competition and fit within their core competencies. So what does that mean? If you're talking about some kind of a technological product, maybe it should be Apple or, Tesla or something like that. Have it fit within what they kind of do already, okay? But the key thing is you are going to introduce a new product or service. This is not an improvement on anything. This isn't, we're going to start saving money on this. You are going to create a new service or a new product that you are going to introduce to the market. That's very important because um, you're going to be asking things like, is there a market for this? So I've had in the past people say things like, we're going to do new packaging that's innovative and, recyclable. That's not a new product. That is an improvement on the product. And so it doesn't really do anything. It might save money, but it doesn't make people say, you know what, they have new packaging. This is innovative and I want to buy this product now. So you're introducing a new product or service and we want to be innovative. What do we mean by that? What it means is, well, let's talk about what they're actually saying here. The new product or service must be something that cannot be easily duplicated and takes into account the customer's willingness to pay. If a consumer doesn't have a problem or a need for the product or service offered, they're not going to be willing to exchange money for that product. So, in other words, you want to put out something that addresses a known problem, or that solves something for customers out there. Okay. And we want it to be innovative. In other words, we want it to be something different from what everybody else is doing. You don't want to say, you don't want to just put out a new product because it's not there. You want to actually do something that's innovative. Okay. So the new product must be something that cannot be easily duplicated. If you say, I want to do this, the first thing you should think is, who is the competition for this company? Can they easily do this? Can they look at your idea and say, you know what, we'll do it too? There must be some thing that's innovative or unique about it that makes other companies extremely unwilling to do it because it's just going to cost too much money, or incapable of doing it because they don't have the technological prowess or the know-how or the intellectual property capabilities or whatever that might be. Okay. Now, this doesn't have to be something that's necessarily doable traditionally, right? So you can think outside of the box here. You can play make believe a little bit. So you can say flying cars, or, a phone that does this or something like that. But the thing is, I want it to be innovative. I don't want it to be something that somebody can easily duplicate. Okay. Now, when we're talking about solving a problem, this isn't solving a problem that you think is a problem. It's solving a problem that the customer actually feels. So every session, there's somebody that talks about some kind of um, um, CSR or corporate social responsibility thing. So it's about the environment, or it's about serving community, underprivileged communities or something like that. And it means something to them, and it's a noble cause. But people aren't going to buy things just because you think it's a good idea. People are going to buy things because it solves a problem for them. So you have to think about what's actually out there and think about the problems or the needs that customers actually feel. Because that's the thing that's going to make them actually go into their pocket and decide that they're going to give you money for this. Okay. So that's the first thing that we're going to think about. So then when we go into the actual blog, you are going to start with the value proposition. There's two elements to this. First of all, describe the company's main business. This is a one paragraph thing, 3 to 5 sentences. This company sells blah, 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 blah to this group of people. That's it. You know what I mean? Apple is a company headquartered in this city. They sell these products to people who are aiming to do this. That's really what you want to do. You just want to summarize the products really quickly and services that they offer. But then you also want to talk about the value that the company delivers to the customer. This is crucial. I want you to pay attention. This is one of those things in class. I always say, everybody look at my eyes, okay? Because I want people to understand that this is very, very important. The value proposition is going to carry on throughout this entire course. So let's nail this now. The value proposition is exactly that. It's the value that that company proposes to give to people, to their customer. It's not how much value can they create for themselves. It's nothing more than the benefits that they give their target market. Okay, so the thing is, if you are going to be talking about the benefit, it can't just be that they solve the problem. It has to be that they solve the problem like everybody else, but they do something different. Now, if you go into the value proposition and you look at all those things about um, value creation and all of that, it really there are certain things, and I will actually post a link to the strategizer video. There are certain things that we're really after, right? So it's like um, I solve this problem by providing access to something, or I make it more convenient, or it's less expensive. It's um, it's high quality products or something like that, right? So when you look at um, BMW versus Honda, those are cars. I can get in. They have a steering wheel. They have tires. They have a windshield. I can drive them, right? But why would somebody choose one over the other? See, not everybody is going to choose the same product, right? They're going to choose something based upon their their self concept, and they're after something, right? So you have to think about what is the itch that my target market is looking to have scratched. BMW has more luxury. It has more items, bells and whistles. The Honda maybe has more value. Maybe it's fuel economy is something that they provide. So you're thinking about those big overarching things, right? What outside of the main need that they're meeting, what would make somebody choose your company over the other thing? And here's the thing: I want you to do this in a succinct sentence. This shouldn't be a super long paragraph. My company provides a convenient alternative to this other product for meeting this specific need for this group of people, right? My company provides gives customers convenience when they try to do this. My company provides access to information or to networks that they normally wouldn't have access to as they seek to have this problem solved. So the key is, outside of just providing the product or service, what is the additional benefit? Don't describe the features, describe the benefits, right? The features of Taco Bell is that it's near food, right? But we don't want to talk about that. We want to say, hey, it's it's less expensive food, so there's affordability. That's the benefit. There's affordability and the convenience of being able to get this food at 1 o'clock in the morning, right? So affordability, convenience. You want to nail this into a succinct statement, because that statement is going to be your marketing message later on. Okay, don't have this being a big, huge blob of stuff. Get right to it. My company provides this extra benefit to this group of people seeking to meet this need. Okay. So focus in on that, and then you can carry that same value proposition all throughout. Okay. For profitability, is the currently profitable? Here's the thing. I think I mentioned this in the video. This is a yes or no question. There are no yes or no questions. I wish that they had something else, but what you want to do is you want to talk about their profitability. The best thing to do here is you want to actually show their profitability. So take the last couple of years of their income statements and just show it. And you can say, hey, here's the profitability for the company for the past couple of years. Show their income statement for the past couple of years. And that is a creative and innovative way of showing that they're profitable. Okay. As you go through this course, I want you to think about that word profitable, because we are going to be talking about money as we go through. Profit means this: once I get done spending all of the money that I have to spend, there's money left over. And I know that's oversimplified, but a lot of times people are saying margins don't matter. A lot of companies have great margins on their products, but they're not profitable at the end of the day. So we want to talk about, if the question is, do they profit, or how does this add to profitability? You want to talk about how does this add to there being money left over at the end of the day. Okay. So that's an easy way of dealing with that. The SWOT analysis, and this says SWOT analysis strengths. What are the company's main strengths to be leveraged to create a new product or service? So you're going to talk about those strengths, but also you're going to talk about how they can actually be leveraged. Okay. You want to talk about how they can be leveraged to actually create innovation. That's very, very important. Okay. Now, at the same time, see here where it says include an image of the current company SWOT. Do that for this section, right? So just create an image. If you can't find a screenshot of that, you can make a little box and put these things in there. But I am going to be looking for you to have listed their SWOT, their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats when it comes to trying to introduce a new product. You're only here going to discuss the strengths, though. You're going to discuss those main strengths, and you're going to talk about really briefly how those things can help in your effort to actually introduce this new product. Product or service singularity. This is super important. This is the main thing that we're after here. What we're saying here is, this is where you're actually going to introduce your product. So you say, the product that I propose introducing is this. And you want to talk about how it's actually unique. Now, here's the thing. What you want to talk about is the fact that this is different from every other company. And I don't want you to hone in on the fact that other companies aren't offering this. So if you find yourself saying, there is no other product like this on the market, companies are not doing this, that is not enough. You need to be saying that no, companies can't offer this, right? So here is a little, and I'll write this out and send it to you as well. But here's really kind of a template. My product is a blank, which is describe the thing that solves what problem. So it actually helps customers do this for this target. So my company is a blank that blanks for blank. My company is a product that solves this problem for this group of people. Now, a lot of products from a lot of other people also solve those problems. So then you want to go into the next level of this, which is other products solve this problem, but mine is unique because. Why is yours unique from the other companies that solve this problem? And you can't focus in on something that companies aren't doing because they could start doing it. You want to focus in on the fact that companies aren't even thinking about doing this, and it would be really hard for them to do this. And I know this is ambiguous. So if you are, Tesla, you could say we want to do flying cars. In theory, Ford could do flying cars too, but they're probably not going to do flying cars, right? But if you say, I want to have an energy efficient engine, then Ford can say, oh, is there a market for that? We'll do the same. See, that is too simple. You want to do something that people are like, wow, how are we even getting around? So when you think about what Tesla and Ford might be doing, they are doing transportation, but what is Tesla really doing? Right? So are they really just getting someone from one place to another? What is it that they're really doing? What is it that Apple is really doing with these devices that we have? How is it different from, the Kyocera's that we used to have? So you need to be thinking about how to rethink the entire industry. That's really what this is about. You need to describe what the benefits are of using your product instead of other products, okay? And then new product services or projections. How can the new product and service improve profitability? So what you want to do is you actually want to dig into why you think this actually could improve profitability. And this is kind of your first foray into the market, right? So your deal is, there are a lot of people, if you can guesstimate this, if this tags on to another kind of a market, you could say, listen, there are so many commuters in the world, and they have this problem that nobody's thinking about. But with our product, that is an untapped market. So if there's, a million potential customers, you could say there's a million potential customers for us. And, based upon this, we think that we actually could end up being in profit because of this new product, right? So you have to think a little bit abstractly about that, but what is going to add to profitability is not your perception that this is a good product, it's your perception of the market, right? So you have to kind of understand, are there enough people out there that might be demanding the product? Later on, we're going to dig into that, but right now you got to just have a gut feel about it. And it has to kind of be something that makes sense, right? If you say to me, listen, everybody has a cell phone, Everybody has a smartphone. And then you talk about an app that does something unique and that could really benefit people that nobody else is offering, then that's going to be interesting because it's like, okay, everybody does have a cell phone and they have access to that information right there. So that's a real big hint. If I were you, I would focus on an app. Since everybody does have a cell phone, focus on an app that actually solves a problem for them in a unique and innovative way. Okay, if you do that, then I think you're going to be in good shape, and don't sell yourself short on it. Okay, so I think you hit all of these elements and you'll be in good shape. But if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out. Good luck, everybody.